Hey guys, Spartan here, welcome back to Risk of Rain 2. Probably the last Risk of Rain 2 video I'll be doing in a fair while. I actually really wasn't going to be doing a Risk of Rain 2 video anytime soon, but recently, as in just yesterday actually, the game got updated and it fixed a few issues, the main issue being the freaking pauses that happen whenever you pick up an item, because I'll go into more of that later. You know what? Let's play on Monsoon difficulty, because it's the hardest difficulty, and it kind of forces you to play good. With the Artificer, that is not really possible though, because Artificer kind of sucks balls. Right, so... oh, this is an odd layout. It's actually got the land bridge here. So yeah, the difference between Monsoon and the other difficulties is not really too great. It's pretty much just enemies spawn faster. And the difficulty increases faster, which those two are pretty much synonymous. Right, so the Artificer has 4 skills, as all units do. Actually, no, that's not true, some have more. So, primary fire is actually like it actually has ammo, so that makes the Artificer not be able to spam any particular ability constantly. They have this. Their secondary attack does a lot of damage. It does, I believe, 1,200% damage at max charge. It's really strong. Ice Wall creates a wall of ice that freezes enemies. Enemies that touch the ice wall are frozen if they're not bosses, and they die instantly if they reach 50% health or less once they are frozen. So it's a kill move. Overall, the Artificers suck kind of because of mobility issues. As you may have noticed, the Artificer has no mobility. Artificer's 4th skill will go over when I actually have a chance to use it, which should be about now, considering there's a beetle here. There wasn't a chest up there, was there? I wasn't really paying attention. So that's the Flamethrower. It does a lot of damage, really. Oh, nice freeze. For some reason, it just froze when opening a chest. I've not experienced that. But yes, oh yes, pardon, fall off a cliff. Primary attack applies fire damage, which is interesting. I mean, the primary attack can be hard to aim because there's travel time and stuff like that. Recently found out that the Commando does not actually have travel time on his primary fire, despite that it looks like that, it's merely cosmetic. So, what does the Artificer need? Well, the Artificer has an interesting gimmick, which was patched in not too long ago. I say not too long ago when in reality it was like a month ago probably. Where the Artificer actually gets increased proc chance for all chance-based, you know, abilities and stuff. And wow, it's already first tick. It's odd. So yeah, higher crit chance and stuff like that. Tri-tip dagger, for instance, is a 15% chance to bleed, and I believe Artificer has like double something like that. Let's check. That applied bleed. No, it didn't. I'm trying to hit once. Okay, none of those did. Oh well. I don't think Tri-tip Dagger is the best example. The best example is Tougher Times, which gives you an actual decent amount of block chance. Getting random freezes. The random freezing is probably because I have OBS running, which is taking a bit of stuff from my computer. Nice aim. Some of the hitboxes are a bit weird with the Artificer. Also, the wall doesn't actually block anything, despite the fact that, you know, it's a wall. What items does Artificer really need? Crowbar. Crowbar is like the item for Artificer, considering the fact that this... oh, voice crack. That the orb attack, this one, does a lot of damage. I did 183 or so. I wasn't really watching very thoroughly. But yes, with extra damage with the crowbar, it's easily becomes really powerful. Also, any speed items are greatly appreciated with the Artificer. Most notable one people praise is the Wax Quail, which is interesting because it's the only character who you really want Wax Quail on. Nice. Didn't actually kill because of split-second timing. I'd say about 80% of my deaths when playing online mode are because the game freezes when I pick up an item and I get, like, gibbed from something that I couldn't see because the game was frozen. Also, crit rolls with the Flamethrower are of course based on the first attack in the set. So the Flamethrower can deal a lot of damage, considering the fact that it applies stacking fire damage. It's actually really good. The only problem is you have to get close to enemies, and the Artificer is not tanky by any means. Another noteworthy item for the Artificer is Bandolier. Bandolier or Brainstalks. Brainstalks is, of course, the more valuable of the two. So, yeah, Bandolier, of course, makes it so that your abilities recharge faster, so that you get more uses of them, including a primary. Actually, no, that's what Alien Head does. Bandolier gives the drops that instantly recharge them. Brainstalks, with its ability to give you... oh, nice, crowbar. Give you the ability to get, you know, constant resets, is really nice. That was a lot of damage for, like, one attack. Unfortunately, crowbar is, once again, kind of useless after the first attack or so. And most likely the stupid arc that comes off the ball is going to hit them and get them out of range of the extra damage. Right, let's see, will you zap me? Thank God that that is actually more forgiving than it looks. Nice, what do I get? Infusion. Infusion is actually really good, because I get that a lot of people don't like Infusion because it doesn't do anything instantly, but eventually it does become plus 100 health, which, I mean, it helps with other things. There's no reason not to survive. But, like, the biggest complaint I hear with Infusion is, oh, everything late game just kills you in one hit. Maybe everything late game just kills you in one hit because you haven't been stacking Infusions. I mean, I had a run with like 13 Infusions as... who was it? It was the Engineer, which... granted, Infusion is the best on Engineer because turrets will not give you the max health. But yeah, pretty much unkillable there because the fungus combined with the max HP, and of course fungus healing stacks with max HP, it just is really good. Also, unfortunately, I'm probably going to skip past the first little tick on the thing up the top right. Nice music cutting out there. Yeah, that jump forwards, which means that the chests will, instead of costing like 50, are going to cost 63. Or is it that instead of costing 63, they're going to cost like 79 or something like that? I forget how the price scaling works with difficulty. I usually play on normal difficulty. Also, that beetle almost hit me. That would be shameful to be hit by a beetle, like, ever. In reality, I have gotten killed by a beetle once. It was a random freezing beetle that killed me with its on-death explosion effect. And see how expensive this chest is? It's 138, which means that this is 69, yeah. It wasn't 79, it was 69. Okay. Fun story, as you may know, this place has the unlock for Nakana's Opinion, which is a rare item. You pretty much just need to go into the secret place and destroy a thing in order to unlock it. And I was playing online, and I was like, I usually open a match by saying, what unlocks does everyone need to get, in case anyone needs them, and one of them says, oh, I've got everything. And I said, oh, do you have Aurelionite's logbook, which I made a video previously about me getting with my 29 Will-o'-the-Wisp run. And he was like, oh yeah, I've got that. And we went into the game, and I, out of habit, went and unlocked Nakana's Opinion because it works for everybody on the server, in case there are new players. And it came up with him saying, oh, you've unlocked this. So I was like, what the hell? You're a piece of shit for lying. And he was like, oh yeah, I just forgot to get that one. Sure you did. Okay, that's a ton of times. Expect me to proc that a lot. I believe. Didn't proc there. Also, yeah, bronze contraptions. Probably the most powerful of the new mobs added to the game. Just due to the fact that they do so much damage. Hey, Will-o'-the-Wisp. Just need 28 more. Fun fact, in that video of 29 Will-o'-the-Wisps, like, 6 of them were obtained right before that portal, because I activated 2 Shrines of the Mountains, killed a bunch of Stone Titans, it was, and I got a bunch of, just a whole arseload of Will-o'-the-Wisps from it. I actually got a bunch of Titanic Knurls as well, which is how I had so many of them. In that video, in fact, I actually killed Aurelia Knight twice, once off camera beforehand, and the second was when I had all the Will-o'-the-Wisps. So yeah, I got 3 Titanic Knurls the first time, and I got 3 on the second visit. Also, pro tip, if you maneuver the camera in this angle so that it's below the water, you can see everything that you could potentially miss. It's usually easy to see chests here still, but the hard thing to find is those stupid rusty lock boxes in case you have rusty keys. And honestly, I have a newfound appreciation for rusty keys after I learned what their drop rates actually are. Granted, if you have only one, then it's like, okay, like 80% of the time you're gonna need a common item. But once you have more, I believe 8 is the suggested amount that I'd give you, you have a 20% chance of getting a rare item and like a 50% chance of getting a uncommon item, which to me is good enough. So a little more of the discussion of the Artificer. The Artificer is the character that the community is most torn on about if they are good or not. Some people say the Artificer is really good and crazy good, and others say that she's absolute garbage. I really don't know. I don't play Artificer too much. I usually play Engineer or Huntress, which I know are good characters. Reason being is that the Artificer tends to be very weak late game due to a lack of crowd control. And by crowd control I mean, like, okay, take for instance the Mercenary. The Mercenary has an ability that he can spam constantly, which is just, he can just spam his basic attacks to proc certain abilities like Sticky Bomb or stuff like that. The Artificer doesn't really have an ability they can spam unless they have Brain Stalks, which, if you need Brain Stalks to actually be a good character, you probably aren't a good character. I mean, why the hell does the music keep cutting? But yeah, Brain Stalks is like an incredible item. Also, I've learned that if you have enough speed, and I mean, you don't really need too much speed, you can actually just kind of kite this bitch. He isn't really as hard to kill as I thought he was originally, until he does that stupid thing. It seems that the game likes to lag still when I fight bosses. Also, overloading enemies are harder to kill with the ice wall. But what was I going on about? Ah yes, I used to think that the bloody Stone Titan was ridiculously overpowered. I still think he's like the strongest boss you can get from Chapter 1. Wow, what's with the lag? I guess the lag is the fact that it's loading in new effects, because that was the first time I procced Berserker's Pauldron. Yes, the reason how they fixed the lag is because it used to load your items directly onto the disc. Or onto disc, I don't know what phrasing you want me to use. But yes, that's what was causing most of the lag from that. So they just stopped it from doing that, and yes, now there's no lag when you pick up items. Or at least I don't think there is. I don't know, I'm not a Risk of Rain 2 developer, ologist. I need to keep adding ologist to the end of my words. Otherwise I'll lose the right to use that gimmick. People say, oh my god, Spartan, you don't say this thing anymore. Except most of the things I say are like already dated. Also, if you time an enemy kill right, between when you're disappearing there and when all your goals disappeared, you can actually carry that goal over the next stage. As you noticed, I killed that beetle and I have 5 money now. Granted, this doesn't really do anything for most stages of the game, but I mean, it does something sometimes. Also, I just realized I have like no way of healing apart from the Cautious Slug. And I've capped my infusion, okay, that's fine. I hear a stone golem jumping somewhere. It's up there. Also, infusion is good because it allows you to get more money off the Shrine of Pain. Because as we know, life is pain. I hate... And Backup Mag. Backup Mag is like another good item because of course it lets you spam your Orbs of Lightning, which are effectively going to be your most powerful form of attacks most of the time. What are you going to do? Rely on the wall? Hey, Soldier Syringe thing. Soldier Syringes are honestly kind of garbage with the Artificer. Due to the fact that... Nice item. Due to the fact that, despite having increased rate of fire being good on like 90% of characters, Artificers, of course. Also, this is one of the reasons Artificers sucks, fucking imps. The Artificer's primary fire is, of course, linked to a cooldown. So you'll just waste your cooldown faster. You know, primary fire is still strong enough to kill wisps in one shot, which I guess is a good determining factor of how strong I currently am. I mean, if you can kill a wisp in one hit as any character, you're pretty strong actually, because of course they still scale with everything. I want luck-based abilities, because that's kind of how Artificer works. Cautious Slug 3D printer, yeah, no thanks, nobody wants that. I have one rusty key, I might as well get more, even though I saw, like, from another thing, that there was a rusty key generator somewhere else, and I chose not to get one, and I ended up with a goat's hoof, which is probably better for most of the time. But still, it's nice to get a lot of rusty keys. Also, I forgot to mention that the electric orb stuns, so yeah, Artificer has a stun, which is good because very few characters actually have stuns. Commando does. I believe stunning was a more frequent mechanic in the first game. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention, attack speed is good for the charge time of the orb, and that's pretty much it. Oh boy, it's the crowdfunder, the worst item in the game. Like, why would you want an item that actually makes you lose gold? I mean, the whole deal with the golden bomb in the first game was that it kind of actually gave you money back somehow. I don't remember quite how it works, I think it's because it actually counted as an enemy or something like that. But, yep, golden bomb was actually kind of viable, but even then, portable missile launcher was still much better, as it pretty much always will be. Also, you can't freeze an enemy immediately after it spawns for some wacky reason. Imp Overbroad, too. I really hate how the Imp Overlord doesn't actually come to you unless you attack him somehow. At least, the Imp Overlord is actually a lot weaker than he was in the first game. Reason being is that you can actually kite him very well if you have, like... Actually, quite a few characters can actually kite him very well. This is due to the fact that... let's use the Huntress, for example. The Huntress can blink through the Imp Overlord, and if you go even close to where the Imp Overlord is, he'll use his stupid ground pounding attack, and wow, I'm taking heavy damage. I need, like, some healing, and I really have none. I have Bustling Fungus, but that's really not reliable, because I need to stand still, and I have really no sustain. Actually, you know what? I do have some healing. I have the Harvester's Scythe, when critical hits are about as rare as hen's teeth. So much for my, increased proc chances. You know what, that overloading wisp has been dealing way too much damage. I just haven't had the time to focus on it because I have to focus on the boss. Oh, and away the wisp goes. Take that, you stupid piece of shit. Let's hope it dies. Yeah, see, this is why I like playing the Huntress, because you don't actually have to focus on the wisps and flying shit in the sky, you just throw a glaive and it automatically dies. So yeah, I can go right next to the Imp Overlord and he'll do his stupid attack, and I can easily get out of the way of that if I have the right amount of momentum. I don't think I'm actually going to focus on killing this stupid, overloading Longhorn Bull, or whatever it's called. It just has way too much health. You know what? Actually, yeah, this thing has way too much health. Unless it walks into the wall. Hang on, you know what? That didn't work. I forget that the wall itself counts as a hit so it can kill. I was trying to carry over a bit of money to the next stage, but I guess not. Okay, what spawns here? I hear a magma worm. Usually the first time you come here, the only thing that spawns is a stone titan. I pretty much guarantee that that thing's still going to be here, but yeah. I actually really don't have much in terms of attack boosting. I have a Will-o'-the-Wisp. That's pretty much it. I need something. At least the Magma Worm can't actually heal. I remember back in Risk of Rain 1, if you left the bosses alone for too long, they would just heal themselves. Kind of to make up for you healing. However, in Risk of Rain 1, there... Actually, you know what? You know what? There were actually more healing items in Risk of Rain 1. I think that was because the game was a whole lot more defensive-based. Every enemy was a fucking bullet sponge. And we've got Elder Lemurians now. Well, that's just fantastic. Is that a second Magma Worm, or was that the first one? That's the first one, okay. That's fine. That just shows how long this has taken. Hey look, Monster Tooth. It's a healing item that was much better in the original Risk of Rain. Can you please fuck off? Here we go, ATG missile. This is a form of attack that I would have loved to have gotten much earlier, due to the fact of proc chances and the like. Now maybe I can actually kill something. Well, there goes a Magma Worm now. It should leave me with enough money to buy a few things. Wax Quail, hooray, I now have a bunch more mobility. No, that isn't a sarcastic hooray. This is like the one character you put Wax Quail on. Another Rusted Key. Rusted Key actually does not give you any benefit to any chests you haven't opened mid-stage, due to the fact that the drops of the chests are predetermined. By that we mean that it's like, as soon as the stage loads, everything in the chests is automatically been generated. You know what, I guess I'll activate the teleporter. I really gain nothing from staying around here. Why does the audio always freeze like that? Oh great! Glacial Elder Lemurian Horde. That's just what I needed. I honestly hate Elder Lemurians. I hate them more as the engineer, however, because they just walk through your shield and it's like, oh, nice place you got here, let me burn your turrets up. And Glacial isn't like the worst affix. I mean, they can somehow still be frozen by the ice wall. I guess you're not immune to your own element. And another thing is that, yeah, they're not as bad as overloading, because overloading will heal themselves if you leave them alone. Heal themselves very rapidly at that. Okay, where the hell did the other one go? I'm seeing one Glacial Elder Lemurian here. I am worried that the other one is going to sneak out of nowhere and attack me. I'm really bad at aiming these ice walls. And this guy just does not want to walk into them. Probably because he's, thinks he's smarter than me. And seeing as he's been staying alive longer than me, probably is. Where's that other bitch gone? Where did it go? Okay, seriously, where's that Glacial Elder Lemurian? There's a normal... Wait, are you part of the boss? You're part of the boss. You're not even a Glacial Elder Lemurian. Okay. Oh, here he is. You know what? Before I actually kill that guy off, let me look around to see if I can find that rusted lockbox. Just so that I don't lose it. Okay, here it is. Good to know. Normally I would get my money for opening the legendary chest before I kill the boss and charge the teleporter. But there's enough shrines of combat around here, and I think just enemies in general, so that I don't need to do that. Okay, what do you got for me? Stun grenade. That sucks. And what's behind door number 8? Oh boy, it's the worst red item. Honestly, this item just sucks. I mean, I get it. It's a reference to the head snuffers from the first game, which were very, very, very powerful. What the hell? Why are those two circling around in a little circle there? There's nothing there, unless there's a cloak chest, which it would have showed up just then if it were. But no, there's nothing there. Fuck you. Aw shit. Here we go again. Yeah, Crackles and Arcs. This is a rare event that happens. There's like 3 variations of this. And what it does is, it pretty much sets all of the enemy spawns to, like, match whatever that little text box was. Yeah, Crackles and Arcs, of course, referencing the fact that there are jellyfish everywhere. And that's all it's going to spawn, only jellyfish. So I hope you like jellyfish. And also hope you're not the mercenary when this happens, because I guess you're dead if that happens. Real world will be plenty jellyfish when you have the flamethrower. Unfortunately, jellyfish really do not give much money. I guess that's the downside. Hey look, I found some form of healing. It is the least effective form of healing for the Artificer, though. Yes, reach my wall and die. Boy, this sure is something, isn't it? I'm just cooking jellyfish. It's like Don't Starve Shipwrecked. That's pretty much all this is. Hey, there we go. I used the Head Stomper's ability just so I can cut my stupid gravity back to normal, so I can actually move pretty frequently. Not frequently, consistently. I do not like low gravity. Doesn't actually benefit you most of the time. I think the music just gave up trying to loop itself. Hooray! And I get a rose buckler. How useless. Oh, wow. Okay, game actually did lag there. I guess it's because I was actually sprinting there, so it had to load in immediately. Yeah, no thanks, I don't want to actually deal with you stupid jellyfish. Yeah, there we go, I get some extra money next round. Not like it actually matters. Well, I mean, champion and jellyfish. Nah, that's still nothing. Great aim, Spartan, great aim. There's this video online of someone who does, like, weird Risk of Rain 2 challenges. One of them was Shield-Only Engineer, aka Pacifist Run. Which they managed to, they got a decent length into the game, but they died due to the fact that the only damage they could deal is with turrets. Not turrets, drones. And those drones really don't deal a lot of damage in that game. So they failed. But one of the things that they did was they fought a bunch of blazing beetle guards and actually lured them into this hole to kill them. It's pretty interesting. Oh, goodbye blazing Lemurian that just fell in there as well. Oh no, they're still alive. I guess they fell down in a very opportune spot. Oh well, they're still dead to me. What are they gonna do, come out of there? You know, if I could get a Brilliant Behemoth right about now, that would be just fantastic. I'm not going to, because my luck is arse, but still. A man can dream. See, now I've got a few keys, I'll be regularly getting blue items from those. And that's a lot of blazing beetle guards. I was just talking about them before, why the hell are they here now? Oh well, blazing beetle guards give, like, tons of cash, so it's not entirely bad, I guess. As long as they aren't overloading as well. You can't actually stack overloading and blazing, or you can't actually stack any two descriptive buffs. Unless you're the player, of course, then you can get like all three at once, but that's just like the whole reason why people like having what's the name? Wake of Vultures. Oh my god, now there's a fucking Clay Doom Strider. Okay, how much money did I get from that? I think it was like thousands. The game is probably lagging because there's so much shit on screen and I can't kill it. Stop giving me medkits. I want damage, bitch. You know what? Oh hey, there's an item barrel over here. Maybe I can actually get something I can use. What is that? That's an ocular HUD. I'll actually take that. I forget you have to actually pick it up because I do have an item, it's just that I haven't been able to use it. Yeah, feel the pain. Actually getting critical hits helps. Who'd have thought? Yes, and I have 2 uses as well. Oh my god, this is so good. I'm actually killing shit. Who'd have thought that having an item actually helps you win this game? At least I'm getting crowbars. Crowbars help for items, I guess. God, it never ends, does it? So my plan is to actually kill one Clay Doom Strider first. Oh well, not kill actually, weaken it. So that it actually sucks in all the enemies nearby so I can kill them in like a grand hurrah of like death and destruction. Okay, do your healing move. I'm being hit by too many overloading enemies. I need to back up for a second here. What the hell is that? Oh, that's the Beetle Guard. Beetle Guards, I forget, are kind of really fast sometimes. Oh my god, I forgot. So much healing thanks to the Ocular HUD plus whatchamacallit. The Harvester's Scythe. Thank god that combination exists. And I'm still almost dead. Let's just get up here. Oh, what? Oh yeah, I was holding space. Oops. So I forget that it kind of drags you back down to Earth due to the stupid, thing. That's another thing, if you hold jump, like, out of habit, it can be really bad in certain situations. By certain situations, I mean almost all of them. Fuck it, I'm out of here. Later, losers. Just as soon as this teleporter works up, I'm out of here. There we go, goodbye. I guess one upside of playing on a monsoon difficulty is it makes me want to get out of here faster instead of actually wasting time. Alright, burn the ground. You know what? I'm surprised that it has taken me this long to make a burn to the ground joke, considering that's like one of my favorite memes. Just due to how terrible it is. Then again, when's the last time I said there's no escape from the poison? That's like months and months ago. God damn it, I'm being hit by stupid overloading enemies and their explosions. There are chests there that I can't get because there's too many enemies. Please contain something that can help me here. Bustling fungus and... you know what? I usually give the bundle of fireworks flack for being useless, but honestly it may help me here due to the amount of profiles I have. If it attacks something I haven't hit before. Oh, I have 2 extra jumps. I never really noticed that. Yes, Will-o'-the-Wisp. I just need as many Will-o'-the-Wisps as I can get. That may be how I win this run. Actually, it's a bit too late. Holy shit, I just got Brainstalks. I know I just spent like the first 17 minutes or so talking about how Brainstalks is the only thing that the Artificer needs. I finally got it. The game decided to take mercy on me at the last stage. Right, now I need to kill elites, because that's how you proc Brainstalks. Oh god, there are imp lords everywhere. Why is it that this guy always spawns on this stage? Why are the only elites here stone golems? That is not good to my plan. Kind of need, whatchamacallits, like Lemurians or something easy to kill so I can proc Brainstalks. And I can just drop wall after wall after wall. And these aren't easy to kill elites either. They're like, overloading ones mostly. Come on, kill an elite. Once I kill like one elite, I'm pretty much in the golden zone. That isn't a saying that anyone uses, but they should do it, probably. There we go. Shoot walls. Okay, there's an elite dead again. I can spam walls again for a few seconds. So yeah, once an elite dies, my cooldowns get reset, and they have like very little cooldown for a certain amount of time. It's like 3 seconds or something, it isn't really that long, but the fact that I can spam walls in the first place makes it just that good. I just need to kill off these stupid greater wisps, they're like the biggest threat here, because I can't wall them. Honestly, with all the enemies that are going to die and just not respawn because the time has hit 99, isn't the worst thing, because then at least I can focus on the Imp Overlord. Watch as I get like a red whip from this just to rub salt in the wound. Actually, I don't think I'd really care, because I'm going to end this run at the obelisk. Why is there a bison here? I thought I killed all the enemies. I guess he was just like at the other side of the map, decided to show up just to watch the Imp Overlord die. Goodbye. What'd I get? Zerka's Pauldron. Okay, whatever. You know what, just for the hell of it, let me buy the TC-230. Prototype, of course. Oh, it's TC-280. Oh yeah, TC-230 is a Hearthstone thing. Oh well. Yeah, 57 minutes monsoon run. It's pretty, average, I guess. What the hell is that sound? Is that the sound of the TC-280? Where the hell did it go? Oh, it's down there. Probably flying towards the exit. Oh well. But yeah, it's, about an average run, I'd say. Come on. I hate how the physics get all slippery when you have the head stompers. You know what? I can probably just jump down there myself. Yep, I didn't need to use the platforms at all. Well, okay. I mean, this counts as a platform, I guess. But yes, let's obliterate myself at the obelisk. Kind of weird I didn't get any lunar coins that run. What a failure of a run. And shattered. I saw a thing of someone who managed to obliterate themselves in 15 minutes as the Artificer. I have no idea how they managed to do that. But yep, that was okay, I guess. So yeah, that's Artificer's gameplay. On Monsoon, no less. So what I haven't done is Multi, which I don't like, and Mercenary, who is honestly atrocious, and I will never play, because they suck. It has the argument where it's like, oh, late game Mercenary is really, really strong, but then again, I mean, late game is, Huntress is really, really strong, and Engineer is probably the strongest character late game. You know what, no, actually it depends. Huntress can easily become the strongest with Brainstalks. Brainstalks on Huntress is just brain dead, laser glaive, spam fest, just kills everything. And Engineer, I don't know, his turrets are just really good all around the game, so I don't think it really matters. You know what? Maybe the Mercenary's the best late game because of his versatility. But yeah, that'll be the end of this video of Risk of Rain 2. Also, I'd like to show off the Aurelianite logbook while I'm here, just to prove that I got it. Also, I have all equipment logbook. Funnily enough, the backup was the last thing I unlocked because I don't like using drones. Did they? No, they didn't add new flavor text, okay. Monster, Aurelianite, here we go. Killed 3, killed by twice. He's kind of a big deal. Also, this is not his actual health stats. As you notice, compared to the Stone Titan, it's the exact same. Another thing to take note of is that Aurelianite actually has a minus 30% damage taken at all times, so keep that in mind. Also, his attacks are a bit different. So yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video of whatever it is I do. We'll see. But yep, until then, goodbye.